So, you said you were from somewhere called Zamoxva.
Indeed, yes.
I see. The thing is, there's no such place. Not in our world, at any rate.
Hey, it's Mad and Goose, and you guessed it, our next major event for Dragon Quest Tactics is Dragon Quest IV. So don't get thwacked.
Whack! Thwack! 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 Thwack!
And stay tuned. Alright. So, our first unit that we are going to get is actually, is Psaro. And he is going to be the last of the question marks and that we're going to receive is a incredibly powerful and meta-defining unit. And yes, it's not on the level of Stark, but we're not going to get a Stark for another couple of months at the very least. And so Psaro is going to be one of the strongest characters to come out, and I think is the biggest demand or biggest bang for your buck out of the 3 potential units that we will get from the Dragon Quest IV. First, the ability is lowers the enemy's bang resistance by 25%. Pretty powerful reduction. Very useful, especially if you do have Baramos or a very high level Archdemon. A very powerful arena unit. And there's another reason why this unit's really powerful. It has a skill that will reflect magic damage. Personally, my team is going to depend on more magic users for arena than I would like. So I will have to avoid Psaros as much as possible because that is something that is very dangerous for magic-based teams. And this is where the biggest set of power comes from him. His skills, though, are very interesting as well. His first skill, Breath of Thunder. It's a pretty large MP consumption of 57, has a range of 3. Oddly, it's a zap breath damage to all enemies within range, but it also paralyzes. So remember, this is a breath skill, so this is going to be based off of level and not off of attack, as Psaro is a very physical based unit, very powerful in that regard. And the Breath of Thunder is a bit annoying where you kind of just only use breath instead of his high attack skills. So it's a little bit of a bummer, and also it's zap, not bang, so it doesn't use its leadership effect on top of it. His second skill, Atypical Magic Fist. Oh, there's magic in it. And it's kind of a play on skill set in Dragon Quest IV. It's a physical damage AoE on all enemies, and it will attract units to him as well for 2 squares. This is a pretty high non-elemental physical damage with AoE. Very powerful. And helps set up his third skill, which is Tenma Collapse, which is the big bang physical damage all around him at 280%. His MP is pretty consistent. Most skills require between 50 and 60 MP. And if you do increase his skill, it will lower the MP consumption a little bit as well. Very important with Psaro, his first awakening is movement +1. Another reason why he's pretty powerful is he can move 3 spaces if you get your first dupe. Second dupe gives the whoosh resistance. Third dupe gives and fifth dupe gives Tenma Collapse power of 5. And the fourth one gives bang resistance at 25%. And Alena is going to be our first hero class. And so this is taken from, obviously, the JP game. it will probably just state hero instead. And very important to note that for hero classes, you cannot teach them any new skills. They will learn a fourth skill instead. It is their hero skill. It kind of has its own animation. It is very unique and very interesting as well. And I won't state that here, as you can only use these skills on turn 3 or later, and you can only use them once in the battle. So it is a unique ability. It is a very powerful ability, but also it limits you being able to customize units. So there is a very strong point of having heroes and a very negative point as well. So Alena's leadership effect is increases strength of Frizz physical damage in a 5x5 square. That is absolutely horrible to say 5 times fast. Even 1 times fast is there by 20%. So she really helps amps up her damage. She is a very powerful unit for damage, both with the non-elemental and Frizz. So her first skill is multi-fists, which everybody knows is a pretty wide range skill. 4 attacks, 50% damage overall. Very useful skill and fits her unit and Dragon Quest IV skills very well. Second one's called Fierce Advance. Very large MP consumption of 108. And then does 250% physical damage on all enemies on AoE, and then can move them up 4 squares beyond. So basically you're just punching them into oblivion straight back. This is great if they move up, can't quite reach you, then you attack, you send them back, and you can kind of just keep pushing them back away from you. If they don't have AoE or range, this is a great way to keep Alena alive, but it does destroy her MP consumption. And her last skill is Relentless Fist, which requires 120 MP and does physical damage 3 times, and it's a circle around. Her last skill is Flash Fist, and it is a very powerful single unit skill as well. So as a unit, she is a very strong attacker. Her first awakening skill gives her a large attack power increase. Second skill, Spang resistance. Fourth dupe, is whoosh resistance. And the third and fifth gives flash and relentless fist power plus 5%. So it will actually boost up both the third and fourth, or the hero skill as well. And the last unit, Kiryl, our Thwack, who actually in this game is a healer, and I would say a better healer than our Emperor Slime. The leadership effect is actually pretty useful by reducing the enemy's attack power by 10%. The first skill, Priest Blessing, increases the attack power and spell resistance of an ally with 3 turns of effect. So it does both boost up attack and helps against magic. So there's a lot of boss battles that you would love having the skill, casting that on your main attacker or even your main tank to keep them from being obliterated by magic. Second skill is Leg Thrust. Occasionally this skill will do Spell Seal and stop movement as well, but it inflicts 250% physical damage on all enemies within range. This is his only attack skill, so unlike Emperor Slime, he does have a pretty powerful and fairly cheap attack skill, non-elemental. And the third skill here is Multi-Heal. It's just our happy-go-lucky multi-heal. Greatly will recover everyone within range. Very powerful skill. His fourth skill is Wolf Fang Power. It is also a ranged attack, similar to leg thrust, except more powerful. And you do have, remember, you have to wait till turn 3 to be able to use it, and you've only can use it once. I will go into more detail when we go into the unit reviews, which I'll be doing within the next week or two. The awakening skills, the first one is very interesting and pretty powerful. Kiryl actually is a decent tank as well, because obviously he can heal himself. He can also increase his own spell resistance. But if you get his first dupe, he kind of helps you from going over a cliff. Ha 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 ha. But he has a 10% mitigation or damage reduction for his first 5 turns. And 5 turns is a long time in this game, so he keeps this up for a very long time. So it is a very unique dupe ability. Second one is bang resistance, fourth one is frizz resistance, and the third and fifth is multi-heal and wolf fang power plus 5%. So we also have some summable units for Dragon Quest IV. They're going to be for each banner. The first one is Rhino King. Stats are actually fairly interesting. Its first dupe will give you +1 for movement. Has good HP, okay defense, good attack, and actually pretty good agility as well. The main problem is its skills are kind of weak. He has 3 different elements that they can use, so it is a very interesting unit, but with good skills. But all of the skills here are just the basic elemental physical damage. This is where it's weak at. Not a fantastic unit, but still with its stats, it can do some decent damage. The Scorpion and Poison Arrow are the other 2. Scorpion armor has a tail hammer, inflicts 130% physical damage on enemies. Second one is Selflessness, which basically will take an attack. And the third one is be able to regen HP for 3 turns. This is obviously a tank. It's got 900 HP and 400 defense at level 90. This is basically just a higher end version of Golem. Poison Arrow is actually a very good unit. Very good for if you can get him for Arena, especially when Arena only allows really A units. Kojiki Jumbai is something that will allow it to greatly increase strength for 1 turn, basically saving it for an attack for the next attack. Then generally you do Good Luck, which is 195% physical damage on 1 enemy. That with the increasing strength, that turns it into a nuke. Especially with its attack being 398, very high at level 90, and it's actually fairly fast too at 346. It will attack first most of the time. Very, very good, powerful unit. It just has absolutely no defense at 175, so it is another glass cannon. The last skill is Samadare Slash, which is 3 times 55% for zap. The only time, and rarely lowers defense. The only time you really want to use this skill is if they're weak against zap. Otherwise, Good Luck is actually a more powerful attack that costs less. There are 2 farmable units, and one of them actually is very interesting. And actually, I think a more fair way to farm. The first one is the Andarug. Can be farmed in Chapter 4-1. The first skill is Latent Heat Slash. Inflicts 180% sizz physical damage on 1 enemy. That should be 17, not 11. The second one is MP consumption of should also be 17 of frizz physical damage on one enemy, and range of 1. Sorry. And the last one is Sweet Breath, MP consumption 52. Occasionally sleeps all enemies in AoE. This is not the greatest overall unit compared to some of the other farmable units in the game, but you should still farm it. The sleep is actually very important for some trial bosses, and also has a fairly decent ability for the Purgatory Slash here, which is Frizz, not Crackle. The last one here is Ragnar McRyan. He is a hero that you will be able to farm. There is a hero quest in order to get him through there, which is basically your battle road. He is a decent unit, and you can farm him through the rewards instead of just random luck. So I personally like this better. I'm having a little bit worse luck than normal for Dragon Quest III, and it is frustrating. So first one here is Tekko Sword. Inflicts 195% physical damage, rarely lowers attack. Second one is Blade. Does 130% physical damage, lower attack with very high probability. And the last one is Battle Cry, which greatly increases attack power for 2 turns. So the weakness with Ragnar McRyan is that he can only do the first range, doesn't have any AoE. He is a hero. He has his own latent ability. You cannot teach him anything. It is a little frustrating in that regards, but he is a hero, and if you do pull on any of the other heroes, you will need him to be able to get the ranking up for hero class, as right now, after Dragon Quest IV, there will only be 3 heroes, so your potential bonuses will be very small. There are actually only 3 other farmable units for DQ4, the Sapnook, Rabbit Hound, and Spectet. They are all farmable in Chapter 2. So there's not nearly as much farmable units as there was before. But there is actually a large amount of weapons to farm. The first one's the Psaro Nails, which obviously go to Psaro. Has the ability to get Tenma Collapse, greatly increases Psaro's overall power. Second one is the Fractured Iron Ball. This is from Death Mountain, which I'll get into. Has very large attack. Has its own attack, HP, and MP for alchemy. It is not really... it's a very high-level weapon that can be used for anybody. It's really designed for units that are either non-elemental or has weird attacks that a weapon really doesn't cover very well. The next one here is the Smile Cane. This is a healing weapon, high wisdom, gives healing or recovery spells plus 4%, MP and wisdom for alchemy. So if you get Kiryl, Smile Cane's perfect for that. Smile Cane's also wonderful for Emperor Slime. Battle Axe is designed for Alena. Has ability to get the Phoenix 10 power as well. I'm sorry, that's not for Alena. The Killer Earrings are for the first physical fiery fist power and agility. The Phoenix 10 power is Battle Axes for Ragnar. I'm sorry. Which makes a lot more sense for the physical power plus 2, as the Killer Earrings has a plus 1% crit rate as well. You can farm these in either Chapter 5, 4, 3, 2, or 1-4, and the Iron Ball is in Death Mountain. For the trade-in, the key trade-ins here are on the right-hand side, but these are the top gets. The Natural Fragments Alena ticket, Kiryl ticket, Psaro ticket. There were 5. Maybe if everything is good here, we will actually receive 10 like we did for Dragon Quest 3. Purgatory Slash and another skills there. But you can also see that the Ryan's crystals are down below. And you can get him to level 5 through the sheets. So these are very, very important. It is fairly expensive, but you will spend most of your energy there, and you don't have to spend as much energy getting the top units, which is less stressful in a way. So the rest of the nominal stuff you can still get the stones, gems, stamina, and gold as well, but for this event you should probably focus on Ryan's crystals, and you're not going to farm as much as you did in some of the other events because you just don't have nearly as many units to try and farm. So our new event is Death Mountain. I will have a very special section that I will go on later this week for Death Mountain in Dragon Quest 4. Each area will have a boss to beat, and so you'll have to beat each corner before you can actually go and do Death Mountain. Each stage has a different elements and status effects to worry about, but they were designed so that the units will use 1 status effect or 2 at the most, and will also be using 1 or 2 elements. So you can design teams that may be a little bit underleveled, but it's not nearly as difficult as some of the other battles that they've done that have covered all of the elements. This one's fairly easy, as it will tell you which elements you should focus on, and will kind of give hints on teams that you can use to try and beat each of these. The other good part is these require no stamina. You will earn weapons after defeating all 5 areas, and you will also earn medals from winning each of these battles as well. Some of the stuff you can get is obviously the Fracture Iron Ball and a Bang Scroll as well. We also have Battle Roads, and this is the Ryan. This is where you're going to unlock Ryan. The new units are above, which we've all talked about already. The old units are the 2, so the skeleton is only from gachas, and the Boreal you can farm from Chapter 9-4. So at the very least you have those 2 right there. And you should get Ryan as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed this quick overview of Dragon Quest 4. I will say that there is a chance that we will receive another shorter event before this. I am hoping. There was a Halloween event that gave a very important item, which was important for the Death Mountain event, especially for the final boss. It is Psaro, who hits very hard, and it gave your tank the ability to at least take 1 or 2 hits, as it was a very high HP weapon. It was basically a lollipop. Without it, it will make Death Mountain 5 a bit harder, and I'll explain exactly why it does become a bit harder. But this was a fun event, and personally I think this was the most fair event, where one of the 2 A units was actually farmable through the rewards, so the medals instead of random chance. So you can at least know, alright, I just need to work X amount of battles instead of, oh please, oh no, don't get it, didn't get it. Like for me, for this one, which has been a little frustrating. So I hope you guys enjoy. So stick around, and I will see you guys later. Good luck, have fun, and best of luck. Best of all, enjoy your slimes today, as we're not going to get enough slime units in this game for a little while longer, but I hope you guys are still having fun.